Did you guys ding-dong ditch at all?
Ding-dong ditch, maybe throw a snowball in the house when they open the door.
That is a step above.
Yes.
We didn't have the cojones.
So I had a friend, Rob Milanese again, a UPenn wide receiver, him, and then my tight end, Rob Barabee, who played tight end at Princeton. Rob Barabee's dad was a pastor. We were in his neighborhood, ringing, throwing snowballs in the house.
Pasture. That's a good one.
Yo, what's up? It's Chris Simms. It's Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
That's right.
Here.
Hell yeah.
English language killed it once again. Boom. Pasture, no, not a cow out grazing on the pasture or whatever, put out to pasture.
Didn't even know how to process it in real time.
I don't even know. I don't even think I realized I did it.
No.
I saw it on the rundown.
You did it twice.
I did it.
Yeah, you just powered right through.
Pastor? Is that
Yeah, pastor.
I was adding a little too much there. All right, but anybody knows you hang out with me, you're going to hear some different language come out of my mouth. But as usual, we're here. All right, it's Monday, a little later than normal, 1 p.m., but we got action right off the bat.
My goodness.
I mean, it's starting to flow in. We had action even if we didn't have action. We had enough to talk about just from the last day or two.
That's right.
Of news, things that had happened and deals. So we were prepared for that. But I don't think we need to discuss too much of that because of what's going on right now at a pretty fast pace.
No, you and I were texting last night about, all of these different things that built up to free agency, whether it was, obviously
the McDuffie trade.
The McDuffie trade,
Yes.
the Eagles signing Jordan Davis.
Yes.
And what does this mean for the rest of their free agents? And obviously trades. Did the Bills do enough with DJ Moore? This is, and maybe it's recency bias, Chris.
I don't think so.
This is the most chaotic first hour of free agency I can remember in the last couple of years.
With the amount of names and the amount of deals being done.
Yes.
With high-profile players, I would agree. I don't think it's recency bias. I know we have been here doing this show on other years, and Ahmed was here in your place.
Right.
But we would go, okay, there was one or two deals to talk about. Then it was like, well, I hope something comes in again here in the next few minutes. And then it felt like we talked just about a handful. Right now, we have a full show of deals to talk about, and I'm hoping that more stuff's going to happen as we sit here. But no, I think it's real, man. It really is.
I mean, literally in the last 90 seconds, we've had more stuff roll in. We'll start with the highest end stuff. We'll work our way all the way down. If you're watching in the chat, we will cover news as it breaks as well. Throw your thoughts in the chat. We'll try to read as much as we can today. We appreciate everyone hanging out during a live free agency special. It's one of my favorite days of the year as an NFL. Not just media member, but like still fan of the game. Yeah. Because I love witnessing the team building aspect, and a guy you might have liked as a fourth rounder all of a sudden gets a life changing payday and a bigger role somewhere else. There's so much fun still baked into this.
It's the official start of the year, the new year.
Right.
Here's a new team. Who's my guy? Who's my team gonna get? You're happy for the players because you go, hey, some of these guys, like you said, a fourth rounder, maybe never seen a payday, and you go, oh, wow. Or it's a guy you evaluated at a high level, and you went, wait, I think he was better than the third round he got drafted, and now he's getting paid like it. And you go, oh, that feels good. I always thought he was that caliber of a football player, right? So that's what's cool.
How about the first one, Malik Willis?
Yeah.
Malik Willis, I thought, was significantly underdrafted, and it looked tough for a while.
Yeah.
Figured a lot out in Green Bay. I'm not going to say it all because he needs to play, but this was one of your guys, Chris. The Dolphins get this done. Obviously, their new regime and new staff comes over from Green Bay. They know Malik Willis. Miami's in a really weird spot on the day they announced they're moving on from Tua, which we all knew was happening. They're going to carry a ton of dead money this year. They need to reset, and they traded Minka Fitzpatrick. They need to reset some of their salary cap, but they find a way to get it done with Malik Willis. This is a 3-year deal. $45 million of it is guaranteed. So while it averages out lower than a Sam Darnold, right? Darnold was about 33 a year.
Yeah.
Malik Willis is about 23 a year, but Darnold got, I think, 38 guaranteed. Malik Willis gets 45 in shorter, kind of like a 2-year. Good money.
Deal. It's a 2-year deal.
But manageable money.
But manageable money.
The fit, the landing spot, everything about this. What's your initial thought? Because we've kind of been building towards this or Arizona for a while.
Exactly. We kind of knew this was coming. He deserves this opportunity. I'm not shocked to hear that he got less than Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold came off a 14-3 year and had a phenomenal season in Minnesota and has more experience. So I can understand teams maybe being a little more warm and cozy about the feeling of signing him to be your starting quarterback. Yeah, Malik Willis, we know the talent's through the roof. He's got superstar potential. I didn't know how serious Miami was going to get involved in this just because of the Tua thing, the money. I thought maybe I knew Miami was involved, but to what extent, and to throw this kind of money out there and make him the man, I wasn't sure that was going to happen because of the Tua situation. And I thought in some ways, too, especially if Arizona gets involved in this, where I thought, ooh, apples to apples, I might rather, if I'm Malik Willis, go to an Arizona right now. You got Trey McBride, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., you got an offensive coach calling the plays.
Yeah.
So that seemed like there was a better support system. Miami, as we know, and what you're talking about here, and just all the things you explained, they're kind of rebuilding their team right now. So you're not necessarily going to have maybe, all the best pieces around you. But regardless, he's with two people that obviously believe in him, and Eric Sullivan, the GM, and Hafley, where they've had their eye on him. The defensive coach who had to deal with him in scout practice and was like, man, I wouldn't want to defend him in real life. So I think all of that comes there. I'm really excited to see what he does with this opportunity, and good for him getting the new start there with the Miami Dolphins.
I feel like this is a can't lose for Miami because if this deal doesn't work out, it carries you to the next phase of finding a quarterback.
Yeah,
like if Malik Willis struggles this year and you go into next year, he could be in camp with the first-round pick quarterback. That's fine. It's totally fine. You at least have somebody that for the next 2 years can be in this conversation, but way more. Like the upside is way higher.
Yeah, exactly.
But the worst case is it doesn't work out for you, and he's the bridge to a future rookie starter after the 2027 draft.
I think it's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's a low price to pay. The only reason we're even questioning is because Tua's gotten the book for $99 million.
Right.
And
it's not their fault.
It's exactly. This is not this regime's fault. I mean, that was one of the worst contracts ever. We know that. I said that at the time. I mean, Chris Greer, it was pitiful. They negotiated against themselves with a guy who had a concussion history and we knew had limitations on the football field. So that stinks. But, yeah, Malik Willis, I've had a lot of people talk to me about Malik Willis, and we know his elite playmaking ability. So that's what you love. I mean, he could play backyard football and do all that. You can design a quarterback game plan around him in the run game.
Right.
There's that aspect. And then what I also where the public is wrong here a little about Malik Willis. I have a lot of, can he really play quarterback? Are you sure he can play quarterback? And I want to go, yeah, I know we haven't seen him play a full year, but if you go back and watch preseason or the times he's played in the regular season the last 2 years, you're going to be astounded with how well he plays in the pocket. Like, he does not miss throws, and doesn't just miss them, he makes them to the utmost quality of what they should be, right? They're on target. They allow people to run as the appropriate ball. He could throw with power. He could throw with touch. He's got great feet. He's got good size. He's strong. He's smart. He's shown the ability to improve all things quarterback since he left Tennessee. Here he gets his chance. And you're right. It's been a bumpy road for him. Auburn, transferred to Liberty. Liberty, he was downgraded by the NFL because there wasn't enough drives and sustained drives and consistency in games. Right. It was collection of plays. There was a good throw, and then it was okay. It was an okay decision and an okay throw, and then look at that there again, and then it was 3 and out and all that. But that's why you got to stick there with the guys that you see sometimes that have real talent, and then you can kind of figure out, he's got the talent. Now, does he have work ethic? Does he have the personality to get better? And if he does do that, those are the guys you take chance on. And this is one that Green Bay took a chance on. They developed him a little bit more, and now he's about to be, I think, a superstar. Really,
the team speed between him, Achane, and Waddle.
That's going to be an interesting combination.
It's up there in the league. Like if you just went quarterback, running back, wide receiver for every team. Yeah. It's tough to find team speed as good as that.
They're going to be able to stress some people, 100%, and with misdirection, and hopefully, he'll be in some of those read option opportunities, and we know Jalen Waddle's going to get some of those speed sweeps and reverse and all of that. There's nothing he can't do on the football field. So that's where you and I and guys like me and you kind of say, he's got superstar potential.
Another one on offense. The Chiefs signed Kenneth Walker to a 3-year deal. Seattle opts not to tag him.
Yep.
They let him hit the market. It sounds like the interest was significantly high for Kenneth Walker, who, listen, there's no better time to hit free agency than after being the Super Bowl MVP. We know that. The details on this one, 3 years, $43.05 million, up to $45 million. The more important part's almost $29 million guaranteed, which for a running back, that's phenomenal.
Right.
I'm fascinated by this one, Chris, because the Chiefs feel like we saw the McDuffie trade. They're going to let some really solid defensive players walk in free agency. They're retooling some of the offensive line. Patrick Mahomes is coming back from injury. They're doing some things that we haven't seen this version of Kansas City do.
This approach, right?
Right. Like, let's scale it back. We have a top 10 pick. We're going to get a really good player there. We're going to clear some money off the books.
Yeah.
We're going to retool. They're never going to rebuild with Patrick Mahomes. They don't need to. But this isn't a rebuild move. This is the retool move.
Yeah.
Like now we could start working some of our offense through the run game. That's the kind of player Kenneth Walker is.
I think so. We've talked about Kenneth Walker a ton the last few weeks. They're a team, oddly enough, which is crazy because, the Patrick Mahomes era started with like, oh my gosh, they're so explosive. They can make so many plays. They're incredible, to where they've gotten here the last few years where we go, they're not really that explosive and they have to go on a sustained drives all the time. And as we know, Kenneth Walker coming out of Michigan State, I've always been a fan of his and what he can do. And he's one of those guys that we've laughed about, like Breece Hall at running back position, where can score anywhere, any place, anytime. And they haven't had that, especially at the running back position. So that's where it's special. And then I look on top of it, and I just wonder, we know they're still going to play through Mahomes and do that, but I do wonder if they're going to shift their approach on the offensive side of the ball a little bit here. By all due accounts, we know that Kelsey's going to be back, but I don't think it's going to be a huge number. We know we got Rashee Rice, hell of a player, certainly, but it's got some problems here and some legal issues again where he could be suspended. Xavier Worthy has been good, but I'm not ready to sit here and just go, he's a bona fide slam dunk number 1 in the NFL.
He's not a number 2 right now. He's a stretch 3.
Exactly right. So you got that. So here's Kenneth Walker now with Eric Bieniemy taking over. Their offensive line, oddly enough, here is becoming one of the strengths of their football team with what they got. Are they going to transition a little bit into, we're going to be a little bit more of a running football team, or at least have more game plan schematics in the run game? The Chiefs in general the last few years have been one of those teams that sometimes they just go, they're just not enough there in the run game. It's inside, outside zone. They have one play where they pull the guard, but it's like that's all they do. It's like they have 3 run plays. There's not much like imagination or creativity with it. Will they change? I'd like to see that. But yeah, they're in a little bit of, like you said, a retooling process. You lose McDuffie, trade him, so you get 2 first-round picks.
Right.
And we know they believe in their ability to draft, which they should. They got, the 2 picks, but yeah, they're missing McDuffie. When we talk about that, we're also going to talk Jalen Watson gone to the Rams, so the defense is going to look a little different here. And I also sit here and wonder if, they're not going to keep Brian Cook, by the way it looks, their safety, so they're going to have maybe a totally different secondary. And is there somebody else out there on the defensive side that they're going to make a play for, I guess is what I wonder a little bit here.
That's the interesting thing to watch. And when you look at the Chiefs, they, by Tankathon's, this is the draft power rankings, which are on Tankathon, and this is based off a chart from Harvard, people smarter than you and I, so I trust it.
Yeah.
They have the 4th most value in this draft. It's not surprising the Raiders and the Jets and the Browns are in front of them.
Yeah.
They have tons of picks, those 2 teams, and they're picking high.
Right.
But the Chiefs are 4th. Because they pick 9th, 29th, and 40th in the top 50. They have decent volume of picks. Like you said, Chris, they're going to find ways to kind of build this thing up also through the draft and kind of change their team by free agency. This is the start of it.
Yeah, this is the start of it. This is going to be a new little era here. It's almost like I kind of compare it to like we saw New England with Brady have the first phase of his era, hurt his knee.
Yeah.
Right? And then it started a second phase. And I kind of feel like it's kind of ironic that, it feels the same way, oddly enough, with Mahomes. Like, he won 3. Yeah, he lost 2. He's one of the greatest of all time. We know that. Hurts his knee. Going to come back motivated. Team's going to retool, just like the Patriots were kind of doing in 2009 and 10. To then get back to the Super Bowl in 2011. So, yeah, this is cool to see. Kenneth Walker, phenomenal football player. Glad he gets paid. You said it right. It's basically a 2-year, $29 million deal where hopefully he can play good enough and see all 3 years of this thing all together.
And shout out to the graphic designer for Kenneth Walker that whipped this up somehow after noon today. He did not know he was going to the Chiefs because you can't talk to anybody until noon today.
Yeah.
And they were able to build this graphic in under an hour. So shout out to them.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure he didn't know. I was wondering, and I really went into the day going, I wonder if the Giants were going to sign Kenneth Walker.
A lot of noise around it.
I thought there might be that. I thought that maybe the Chiefs would be relegated to going to like Travis Etienne and now he's still out there. I don't know if the Giants will pivot to that because I think Etienne's a hell of a player. We talked about him the other day. I kind of put him on my under-the-radar thing, not because he's an under-the-radar player, but I just felt like, damn, for his quality, a good player he is, nobody was talking about him.
No, they don't. He doesn't get a lot of buzz.
Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker kind of hijacked the running back conversation here. So, but rightly so. It's Super Bowl MVP going to a team we've seen in the Super Bowl a whole lot in the Chiefs.
The theme of the day so far, offense in the AFC. The Colts re-sign Alec Pierce right at the buzzer. 4-year deal. $60 million is fully guaranteed at signing. This is $116 million across the 4 years. The highest paid free agency for a wide receiver in NFL history. So a lot of wide receivers get their extensions, before they ever reach it.
Yeah.
Not a lot of guys get to market like this.
Nope.
He's now in the upper echelons
yes, he is.
of wide receiver money.
Right.
Michael Pittman, the trickle effect of this, traded to the Steelers. They had to move some money. But, Chris, they knew if the clock struck 12, Alec Pierce was gone.
It would be scary. It'd be scary. And I think Alec Pierce, in his heart, wanted to be back there. He's best friends with Daniel Jones. They're buddies. They value him. They know exactly what he is. They have formulated a plan around him. And here's another aspect of it. So here's another Alec Pierce, as you know, is somebody that I've taken pride in because I took a chance one year and put him in the conversation with Olave and Garrett Wilson.
Right.
And for my money, and I'm gonna say it here, I'll say it. I love Alec Pierce. I'd take Alec Pierce over Garrett Wilson. I'm probably in a minority in that. I get it, but his size, and here's where I was really gonna go with it. Too many people talking about Alec Pierce that he's just a one-trick pony, like he just goes deep. I want to go, no. You break down Alec Pierce. He can really run routes. He has been kind of forced to be a one-trick pony because he's the only guy on their football team that has speed to play the role of, I'll take the top off the defense, I'll be the first read that goes deep so everybody can be open underneath.
Right.
And there's been a little of that. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you he's Julian Edelman running routes, but he's a in cuts, slant returns, all those type of things. He can do all of that. And I think with Michael Pittman Jr. not being there and them not being able to pay everybody and the Steelers needing a receiver, I think you're going to see a different Alec Pierce this year where they're going to feature him more now. He's going to take some of Michael Pittman Jr.'s plays away. The ones where you've seen him catching the ball over the middle of 10, 12, 15 yards. Now you're going to see some of those go to Alec Pierce. And I think that's going to be the cool thing for him. So good for him. He's got good size. We know his speed. He loves football. He's been durable as hell. He competes. He catches 50-50 balls. These are the signings that I really love to see. Like, guy underrated, underappreciated. Like, for a time looked like he was going to get drafted late in the draft. Chris Ballard goes to a workout to see Desmond Ridder throw and goes, holy shit, who's this guy running routes that can run faster than everybody on my Colts team right now? And that's where it jump started, and he's taking advantage of that. And that's another cool graphic. Look at them. These graphic teams are on it in a hurry today, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you. They have 20 different people working to get these done in time. But like I said, there's a trickle effect of this one. And, I'm sure there's some bittersweet elements here. Mm-hmm. We had Pittman and Pierce separately at Radio Row. It feels like they developed a really good relationship over time. Unfortunately for Michael Pittman, that means he moves on from the Colts because the Colts had to move some money. The construction of their offense, like you said, Chris, you're now paying Pierce to handle a bigger role. You have Tyler Warren there. You have Josh Downs there. You have Jonathan Taylor there. So they trade Pittman.
Have it all.
Yeah, Pittman goes to the Steelers, which I'm fascinated to hear what you think of this landing spot because they're a team now with two massive bodies on the outside in DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman, where they're just going to kind of play back shoulder bully ball on the perimeter.
I think so.
Maybe with Aaron Rodgers, maybe not. Who knows? What do you think of this move, though, of some teams set up their receiver room as we want this guy here, this guy here, this guy here. Other teams go, we'll have all fast guys or we'll have all big guys.
And you don't know where we're coming from.
This is the power forward route.
Yeah, this is bigger guys. They're going to be able to run block.
Yeah,
they're guys that I look at to go, they fit what Aaron Rodgers wants to do, where at times we make fun of it and go, oh, slant, back shoulder, go route, right? That's kind of all the things Aaron Rodgers throws. These three, like you just said, or these two, they're made for that. Pittman and DK Metcalf are, contact, physical wide receivers that can do that. And then Pittman, too, very good intermediate route runner as well. Tough as hell that way, catches the ball over the middle like we were just talking about. So those two on the outside, Pittman does have some slot versatility where you can move them in there. But I think ultimately with those two out there, now it's like, okay, are they going to re-sign a Calvin Austin and have somebody? I don't think so either.
Yeah.
They're going to need somebody of the jitterbug type.
Right.
I don't know who that would be out there.
Probably in the draft.
But regardless, this does help their football team. And these are two guys that if they're one-on-one on the outside, they can make some things happen. But I think, Pittman becomes more of the we got more plays for you in the system kind of guy, motion you, bring you down. You have a more versatile route running tree. DK, like we saw, we're going to put you over here. If you get man-to-man, we're coming to you, right? Hopefully they're going to double you and take pressure off of everything that way. But, I think this certainly improves the Steelers' offense.
To make the move a little more digestible for Pittman moving on, he gets a 3-year, $59 million.
So they already adjusted it.
Yeah. And he's 28.
Yeah.
So 3-year extension worth $59. Sure, the guarantees are in the first 2 years. You're paying Michael Pittman to year 30. Like, that's good business for the Steelers.
Definitely.
I like the teams in free agency that kind of sit and wait for a potential cut, and they just do a late-round pick swap. They're willing to give the guy money to come to that situation. We saw it with the Jets with Minkah Fitzpatrick today. We see it here with the Steelers.
I'm sure Rashawn Gary and the Packers,
call.
Right?
Yes.
He's going to get
going
cut,
to Dallas.
Saying bye. Goes, I'm going to Dallas. And I think I think I read they're going to give him more money. I can't remember exactly, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Right. So, and I'm sure the same is going to happen to Jonathan Grenard.
Yeah.
So, this savvy moves to the gyms that sit and go, okay, rather than playing the free agency game out of the gate, I'll play the trade market for really not much of a difference. But the free agent market, the Panthers had no fear. This Jalen Phillips deal is a monster deal. Your eyes widen when I told you the numbers on this before we were live. 4 years, $120 million. The most important part, $80 million guaranteed.
Man.
Now, this was a need for the Panthers.
It was.
We saw a good rookie season from Nick Scorton, who would probably be an ideal number 2.
Perfect. He's your strong side, big, powerful. I'll take on the tight end and the run game on this side, and Jalen, you got the weak side, but both can do both, right? That's, I think, the good thing there.
We like some of their interior D-line.
Totally. I mean, I'm a big Derek Brown fan, that's for sure.
Needed off-ball linebacker, but now they go pay up for their number 1 pass rusher, who it feels like, Chris, he's just been trending upwards now since he came back from the injury.
I think so. He was so close right before the injury to where I would go, he's about to be a superstar. The best player on the Dolphins defense is Jalen Phillips. And then he hurt his Achilles. And then, we got to a point where the Dolphins were like, wait, hold on. We like you, but you got an Achilles injury, and we got all these bad contracts, so we can't keep you. We traded you. They traded it because they knew that they weren't going to be able to pay him $30 million right now with their current situation in Miami. This was much needed by the Carolina Panthers. I look at it that way. Carolina, you kind of said it. It's Derek Brown in the middle. It's the 2 corners and Mike Jackson and J.C. Horn. Yeah. And after that, I don't think many people would know who's really on the Carolina Panthers football team. But, this is a legit pass rusher who I think, like you just said, is still going this way. A healthy Jalen Phillips or what we saw towards the end of the year in Philadelphia, I think it's all trending in the right direction to where, he's the type of talent. He could lead the NFL in sacks. He can be that kind of guy. He can go 16, 17, 18 type numbers with the sack numbers. And then also, he's physical as hell, plays the run game awesome. So they needed somebody like this. And then, like you said, the other one is just going to be the off-the-ball linebacker. I really thought that maybe Carolina, one of the first things we heard them do today would be Devin Lloyd or Quay Walker.
Yeah.
With Dan Morgan running the show as an off-ball linebacker. Again, we know they need some difference makers in that front 7. But regardless, this covers some holes in a big way.
Yeah, the Panthers, when you look at their edge group last year, all the guys that played even decent snaps, not just the majority of snaps, nobody had a high pass rush win rate.
No.
Like Nick Scorton, who was a not even first-round rookie, had an 11% win rate. That led the pack. Jalen Phillips last year for the Eagles, who played a lot of snaps, had an 18% win rate. That's like where the really good players are.
Yeah.
The Panthers didn't even really have the average. So this is, like, say what you want about the contract and it's big money or everything. This is a wild upgrade for their front 7.
Yeah, they needed it.
Someone that can get home.
It meant player matched with need, which maybe led to more expensive contract than we would expect. But why? What's wrong with the contract? $30 million right now for a pass rusher?
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy. It's down the list. And for a guy, again, that you look at and go, yeah, he could lead the NFL in passing, or in sacks and everything that way. You're not crazy here. Let's just see, just to give everybody a little bit. Like Nick Bosa is still making 34. Jalen Phillips in his prime, is not that far off. Like a healthy Jalen Phillips is not that far off. It's not crazy. Nick Bonito's getting 26. Yeah, I'd rather have a Jalen Phillips than a Nick Bonito.
Interesting.
He's bigger. I think that his career can last longer. He's a little more versatile in things he can do schematically because of that size, where Benito's going to be a little more speed-based. I love Benito, don't get me wrong. But so I just, ultimately what we're just saying is this is not crazy, and nobody should think it's crazy for a guy of this caliber of player to get this kind of money.
No, and I bet Denver is smiling right now that they got out in front on that Benito deal, because that's a bargain, because they got it done early.
Totally.
And Nick Benito gets it a month out from free agency. He's making $35 to $36 million a year.
Would agree.
So that's good work by Denver, which is a reminder, like, if you can, you should always sign your guys.
Get out early.
Get out in front early, because it ages like wine every single time.
It's the thing that we praise the Eagles for always.
Right.
The Eagles have been the champs of getting on things early. They get in front of the contract to where then the player gets to year 3, and you look at the contract and you go, ooh, when they signed it, it was like close to top of the market. But here we are now 2 or 3 years later, and it's like 6th or 7th or 8th on the pecking order. And, of course, that's what good team building is all about right there.
All right, the Rams remain busy with their secondary. This is a big talking point for us. They signed Jalen Watson to a 3-year deal. $34 million of it is guaranteed in the 3-year contract. He was number 8 on PFT's top 100 free agent list. That's ahead of some bigger name brands.
Yes.
So this is somebody that, despite playing in Kansas City, doesn't get the hype that a lot of guys get. The Rams are looking at Kansas City and going, we want what some of you guys have.
Yes.
Chris, sitting next to you all season, one thing you always said, as much as we love the Rams, it felt like Shula had to pull back on how much man he can run, how aggressive, basically what they can ask their corners to be.
Agreed.
They've made 2, on top of extending Cam Curl, they extended Quentin Lake in season. They've made 2 monster moves at corner. Feels like that's what they feel is their one Achilles heel.
I don't think there's anything else they needed to really adjust or get to on their whole football team. We discussed it at length at the end of the year. And here they are now, where when the season ended, I went, it's kind of one of the lesser secondaries in football. That's what or at least the corners, I thought. The safeties have always been pretty
They're really good.
I want to make sure I stand corrected
right.
there.
But they broke out there.
But they did.
Like a year ago, if you said Cam Curl and Quentin Lake are 2 of the best, one of the best safety duos in the league, people are like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And now under Chris Shula, it's like Cam Curl and Quentin Lake are really good.
No doubt about it. No doubt. So, they got that. They got Jalen McCullough, who's also, I think, another good safety nickel hybrid who I'm a fan of. But the issue was what you talked about. You can't play in big football games late in the year against some of the quarterbacks and offenses you're going to play and think that on 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5, the quarterback and the offensive coordinator aren't going to have a cool way that are going to widen some part of your zone defense out, and they're going to find a guy to get open in the middle of that hole. The whole playoffs, I sat there. I remember, like, late in the year, we were watching a game, and I told my dad, we were actually watching Wild Card Weekend when they played the Carolina Panthers on a Saturday. I just go, man, my dad kind of goes, what happened to the Rams defense? And I went, watch. I go, they can't play man. Every time it's 3rd down, you watch, Bryce Young's going to look one way, come back, hit somebody open. That's just what it was. So this changes it. And now they got one of the best secondaries in football. For a team that we already knew was in the Super Bowl window, really doesn't need to address much on the offense at all. The defense, the front 7 set, this was the issue. And now you got 2 corners who came from a place where they were put under pressure, right? Then not only were they complicated and did some cool zones under Spags in Kansas City, and they're going to be good at that, but they were asked to tackle. You can't play for Spags unless you tackle. And the biggest thing is, as we know, they weren't afraid to play aggressive in Kansas City in big situations. That's what's one of the reasons they won 3 Super Bowls. Oh, it's Brock Purdy. Oh, it's 3rd and 3. And if you get the first down right here, the game's over, right?
Yeah.
We're going to blitz McDuffie off the edge, and we're going to have Jalen Watson playing man-to-man.
Right.
And, he knocked the ball down, right? So, but those are the kind of things you need in those big type of football games, and I think that was brilliantly done by the Los Angeles Rams.
I have some jarring numbers for you. Okay. So, to the point, Kobe Durant and Emmanuel Forbes last year for the Rams in man coverage. Passer rating allowed from Durant was 98.8.
Yeah, I was going to say, yikes.
Passer rating from Forbes, 97.5.
Yikes.
McDuffie, 72.
Right.
Jalen Watson, 74.
Yeah, and they didn't have the pass rush.
Right.
The Rams did.
There's actually a bigger ceiling.
Yes.
But just the raw numbers in man suggest a significant upgrade.
Totally.
Significant.
Totally. But Watson's big. He's long. He can take on those bigger receivers. You go, okay, you got him. McDuffie, I don't know how much we talked about this. In fact, I don't think you and I got to talk about this at all yet, or the Max Crosby thing. But McDuffie's rare in that you can put him outside against the best receiver in football. He could also play the slot nickel guy.
It's like a Witherspoon a little bit.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
He can play the jitterbug guy, which is rare to have that type of crossover, as you know. Only a few guys have that.
Yeah.
And that's where that's special. So they're going to be able to match up with anybody with that safety play and the front four they have. Yeah, I think McDuffie and Watson are only going to look better with this Rams team as compared to the Chiefs. One of the things we've talked about is they've had a blitz. They haven't had a front four that they can just say, get there. Chris Jones is still really damn good, but he's not quite the same force he was. Karlaftis really good, but again, not a type of defensive line that I think we looked at to go, oh, don't worry, the front four will get there all the time. And that, of course, put them under pressure in Kansas City.
McDuffie last year, 458 snaps at outside corner, 127 in the slot, 36 as a box safety.
Wow.
35 on the line of scrimmage.
Wow. Yeah, he does it all. He does it all.
More than he gets credit for.
He tackles in the run game. And I know we said this last week. Jimmy Lake being there, who coached him at Washington, they know him. They know what kind of guy he is. That's why they were happy to pay him the highest paid corner, in all of football, because he's worthy of that.
The G-Men get on the board.
The
G-Men sign Isaiah Likely to a 3-year deal.
Yeah,
$40 million. It could be worth up to $47.5 million. What was interesting to me, Chris, was it felt like there was something weird with Likely and the Ravens last year. Mm-hmm. It's clear it wasn't with John Harbaugh.
Definitely not.
Because you don't make this move if you feel that way.
Yeah.
So, and now you look at the balance of their offense. They're going to have Malik Neighbors back. We're going to see what they do with running back, with Scadaboo coming back from injury. But I would think this is more power slot because, like, Wandale's probably gone.
Exactly right.
And now you just totally change how you formulate your offense.
You can kind of play 11 or 12 with Isaiah Likely.
Right.
I think you said it right. He can play slot. He could play tight end traditionally. He's not the greatest blocker in the world, which would, if you ask me maybe what some of the problems were in Baltimore, it might have been that.
Right.
Where it's just like,
we want Charlie Kohler on the field.
We want Charlie Kohler. Yes, exactly. And so there's probably that aspect. But, yeah, it does look like they're going to lose Wandale. And, in fact, I'm shocked we haven't seen Wandale get signed already. I thought Wandale is going to end up with Tennessee. That would be my guess, back with Dayball, to kind of get that going
makes
again.
Sense,
but we'll see if that does happen. Regardless, with Isaiah Likely, he still fits that role. And a big body, and they have Theo Johnson, who's more of the traditional tight end. So if you want to run off, the right edge, he's the guy you'll run behind. But Isaiah Likely can get it done too. But yeah, I like that. And Likely, as we know, extremely talented in the pass game, extremely. So yeah, you got Malik, you got Darius Slayton, who we know can run by people on the outside. And now you got guys like Isaiah and Thea who can kind of work the middle of the field, all about it, like it. And I would think that the Giants are not done with some of these moves. I would think they try to get another pass catcher out there, honestly. At least I thought they would.
How about a sneaky move for the Giants? Their special teams has been pitiful, it feels like, over at least the last year or two. They go and bring over Jordan Stout from Baltimore, a 3-year deal. He's now the highest paid punter in the NFL, which is pretty fair because he was the all-pro punter this year.
Yeah, that's big. It is. I mean, the Giants, field goal kicking, hunting, all of that has been shaky as hell. And some of it's unlucky, especially with the field goal kicking. Injuries before the game, whatever. But, that's a good one, and one that we kind of overlook a lot. But yeah, inside knowledge. There you go. I mean, Harbaugh's bringing some guys over there that know what he's about, and you can kind of set the tone in the locker room and, get some guys in there that are adversaries, right? Allies, where they can kind of spread, hey, coach is like this. When coach does this, it usually means this. And you got to have a few guys in your locker room to kind of help that transition.
A little bit of a value one here. The Bucs get Kenneth Gainwell to a 2-year deal. We talked about Rashad White hitting free agency. Gainwell, one of the most underappreciated third down backs in the league. It's a 2-year, $14 million deal. $10 million is guaranteed. So the Bucs get on the board there with Kenny G.
That's a big sign. We love Kenny G. They're not going to have Rashad White back. So now you got Bucky Irvin with Kenneth Gainwell. They're kind of similar type of players and style.
Feel together if
exactly
you want.
right.
Pony
Gainwell could play slot receiver like you've talked about. So, yeah, I like that. He's a hell of a player, Kenneth Gainwell. What did he get? What was the money there?
2 years, $14 million, 10 is guaranteed.
Okay. Yep.
And the Bucks followed that up by signing Alex Anzalone to a 2-year deal. 2 years, $17 million. So the Bucks kind of attacking the middle tier of the market here with another running back. And they needed to get some kind of addition in the middle of their defense. Even though Anzalone's, I think, 32 now, that just felt like an area they've kind of let get away from them for too long.
Totally. Got to, Levante David, legend there, the Devin White, what happened there.
Yep.
They've been missing somebody in the middle of that defense. And Anzalone is, as we know, a hell of a player and a hell of an athlete. That's the best thing about Anzalone. He's a 3-down middle linebacker, and that's where his value is.
They also bring back Cade Otton. They wouldn't have had a tight end if they lost.
Exactly. I'm a fan of Cade Otton. I think he's one of the not saying he's a superstar, but he can do everything. He's good in the pass game. He's very good at blocking in the run game. So, yeah, that compliment there. It doesn't sound like they're going to have Mike Evans back. And Cade Otton is one of the young, talented pass catchers they got in the football team. So good for them in keeping him.
All right, we're going to take our first break. When we're back, we got the Bears adding Kobe Bryant, the Patriots getting Draymond Jones, the Jets making some moves as well. So a lot happening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. More news continues to roll in, on and on it goes, as Kobe Bryant, a big one off the board. This is one of the most underrated,
right? This is one of our under the radar guys we talked about on the Wednesday or Thursday pod last week. Kobe Bryant. I'm the big time supporter of him. He jumps to me, like pops to me. When I watch him in the back end, I feel like the last year and a half, like something went on, like the lights went on, to where it's like his understanding and instincts of the game matched up with the physical ability. And like when I know earlier this year before he got hurt, I remember looking and just going, holy cow, damn, that's Kobe Bryant. Holy crap, is he getting down there and filling in the hole in a hurry? And holy crap, is he explosive sideline to sideline? So he really popped to me that way. I think he's got a chance to be one of the best safeties in football. He's that good.
Yeah.
He's that good, and he gets rewarded for the Bears, who needed it, as we know.
That's right. The Bears we're dealing with both their safeties hitting free agency. Jaquan Brisker and Byard were both hitting free agency. They go out and get a little younger here. Not Brisker's young, but Byard was older.
I think Brisker's gone. I think Byard will be back if you had to make me guess or bet money on it.
So Bryant, we know his ball skills. He transitioned from corner to safety, so it's kind of one of those ones, like you said, Chris. You talk yourself into the best is ahead.
Exactly.
Right now, 3-year, $40 million deal too. That's the safety market right now.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yeah.
That's the exact deal Minka signed. We've seen some other safeties get a little more, a little less. Like, this is what it is.
No, this is value to me.
I would actually say
what he is, like
potential discount.
This could be discount because it could be like a year or two from now, and we go, damn, Kobe Bryant's an all pro-ish type of safety. I think he's got that type of talent. We've seen this before. Yeah, doesn't have all this requisite skills to play corner. Maybe not as good at putting his foot in the ground and flipping his hips and doing that. But when the game's right here and he's a safety and he just run here and fill the hole here and drop back and take off and cut the field off for the receiver, he's amazing at that stuff. It's the corner stuff where, I'm here, and now I got to stop and flip and go this way. That's not what he was made for. And he's got an aggressive nature about him where he is fearless tackling. I mean, at times it can be out of control, but yeah, that's an awesome one from the Bears. And I also sit here with the Bears and go, what else? Are they going to do something else on the defensive side? I don't expect much on the offense. The defense is the only thing you look at. Will they get another pass rusher? Is that going to happen? It feels like the Trey Hendrickson conversation is all cooled down here. I mean, it's like I thought the Cowboys were going to sign Trey Hendrickson, and all of a sudden they get Rashawn Gary, and I go, ooh, is that going to change something now? Did Trey Hendrickson price himself out of the market to a degree? All those things are going through my mind right now because I really thought last night coming in this morning, I was like, Trey Hendrickson of the Cowboys is going to be one of the first things off the board.
That's what I thought, too.
I thought for sure we would hear that, but maybe the Rashawn Gary thing changes the situation in Dallas a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting right now because you've had the Patriots fill an edge need with Draymond.
Yes.
You had you brought up Rashawn Gary. Max Crosby's been traded. Jalen Phillips got a monster deal from Carolina. Like Hendrickson is kind of floating out there right now. We know the Bucs still need edge help.
To me, it's about what is he asking? And I have a feeling it's probably mid-30s.
I would think so.
Yeah, and I would think some teams are like, dude, you're in your low 30s.
Yeah.
And we don't want to do that.
And you were hurt last year.
And you were hurt. And we're cool. We think you're a hell of a player. We maybe want to give you 30 or 28 or something of that. But if he's trying to go, wait, 2 years ago I led the NFL in sacks, and I want to be at the top of the market with Danielle Hunter and T.J. Watt and Aiden Hutchinson and Micah Parsons, like that's not going to happen. I mean, it's not. At that age, it's just too much buyer beware for the football team there to want to throw out that kind of money. They're in the primes of their careers, those guys. I mean, they're like just like literally at the pinnacle right now, where that's not the same for Trey Hendrickson. So I am going to be interested to see where how that all plays out there.
I'd like to see the Bears see if they can kind of swoop in in that because they're real close.
Right.
And if he gets back to 2023 to 2024 form, it's like that's what they've been missing.
Exactly.
So Kobe Bryant to the Bears, great move for them. The Raiders re-sign Eric Stokes to a 3-year, $30 million contract. $20 million is guaranteed. Number 2 corner money.
Totally.
Actually, like below average number 2 corner money.
It is. It's below average. But he has nothing to stand on. He's got one good year with the Raiders, really, and then all these years of being injured and not being able to play in Green Bay and living up to first-round expectation. He showed his ability last year. He played really well. Yeah, but to get big money, no, he didn't prove that quite yet. He gets something that's just at least substantial, and they like him out there. And again, they don't have too many guys out there where you can just go, hey, he's good, he's a starter, boom. That makes it all clean and simple. So good for Eric Stokes, who's been through a lot since he got drafted out of Georgia.
What do you think of Draymond Jones going to New England? This was a pretty big deal. 3 years, $39.5 million. We didn't know how they'd kind of play this spot for them. We know they could still address it in the draft. It feels like a Vrabel type of guy, but it also still feels like New England, which I'm sure a lot of their fans were holding out hope for Max Crosby. Feels like they still need that quarterback terrorizer, and I don't think Draymond's that.
No, he's not that. Draymond is Vrabel-ish,
Right.
Ravens-ish,
Like tough.
right? Tough, set the edge,
Dirty work.
can collapse the pocket, but he's going to be more about just all the things. He's physical, run game, but it's not going to be about sexy, sack production. That's not what Draymond Jones is. Draymond Jones is one of those guys that he can play traditional D-end, he can play stand-up outside linebacker, and even on third downs, you can put him down at 3 technique and let him rush on the inside there. So I think it's just about versatility and another big guy in their front 7 to give them some ways to mix and match against different personnel teams. And, oh, wait, we want to be smaller this week. So we get 3 guys like a Draymond Jones on the field. We want to be bigger this week. All right, we're putting big D linemen in. Draymond, you play outside linebacker.
Right,
now we're gigantic. Look at us. Our outside linebackers, 275. Holy crap, right? Then that's the way the Patriots were in their prime. And I always say this to people, walking on the field with the New England Patriots, TV did not do justice to how big they were. New England was a huge football team. Huge. I mean, just think about it. First off, Gronk is the biggest tight end ever.
Yeah.
They had Nate Solder and Vollmer at tackle where you were like, holy cow, it's a huge German and a huge Russian. Holy crap, they're huge. Of course, you had Vince Wilfork. Brady was big as a quarterback. But then you got to the defense and you were like, whoa, Richard Seymour is not from this planet. Holy crap. And then Vrabel and Roosevelt Colvin are on the outside. They're defense ends for most teams in football, yet they're standing up there outside linebacker. You're like, holy crap. Or Willie McGinnis.
Right, they're all massive.
I dropped back to throw a slant one time, and I was like, they just dropped back and went like this. And I was like, damn, there's nowhere to throw the freaking ball. All 4 linebackers' arms are gigantic.
Passing lanes covered.
Richard Seymour's like this, pushing the pocket.
And you're 6'5".
And I'm
Imagine
big.
being 6'1" and like, what do I do here?
So that's the way they can make you feel. They can make you feel like the pocket is collapsing on you and everything feels tight and squeezed. And I'm sure Vrabel is trying to emulate that there in New England, as we know he is.
All right, the one we've been waiting for, the other big one to drop.
Whoa.
The Raiders make their move and get Tyler Linderbaum.
Wow.
I'm actually kind of surprised.
Wow.
It's a 3-year, $81 million deal. 60's guaranteed.
Yeah.
But he went the shorter term. Now,
guaranteed money, $30 million 2-year deal contract.
He's 25.
Yeah.
So he'll hit free agency probably as a 27 or 28-year-old. And you're a center, so you can get paid a lot again.
Yes.
And for the Raiders, you got to give them credit here.
Necessity.
They're laying the ground floor for Fernando Mendoza the right way.
Exactly.
This is like, I don't think Linderbaum at insane market-breaking money was perfect for everyone. This is the team that should go the extra mile and do it.
I would agree. Like you said, we got a top 10 running back. We got a number 1 quarterback coming into town here. So you want that. It's Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak from the Shanahan or his dad or old Mr. Shanahan back in the day, they've always had good centers, athletic centers. Right? Shanahan at one point in Cleveland and Atlanta had Alex Mack. It was the perfect guy. Yes, so I mean he can do it all. We know in that run scheme they asked their centers to do a lot, and they got to be extremely athletic to make reach blocks on all the Shanahan outside zone schemes and all of that. Linderbaum's awesome. He's a phenomenal player and very interesting, like you said, that he kind of took this route. He's kind of betting on himself, going, "I'll see you back at the table in 2 years."
Right? Why not?
Because in 2 years after I've gotten that $60 million, me only getting $20 million with a year left is not going to be right. I'm going to be really damn good, and I'm going to go, time for that extension, and he's going to get another big payday. But I'm amazed, and I guess there was a part of me that I didn't think he'd end up leaving Baltimore.
Because it always kind of goes full circle in these times, where it's like you get, like Alec Pierce, you get closer and closer to the deadline, and everybody gets a little jumpy, and they're like, will this seal the deal?
Yes.
And he and his agent held their ground. They took a chance. But once again, like, you know what Fernando Mendoza had this year at Indiana? He had Pat Coogan.
Yeah, that's right.
Pat Coogan started at center for them. Pat Coogan started a lot of football games for Notre Dame before Indiana.
Yeah.
He was kind of, not, I shouldn't say unsung hero, because they gave him a lot of love. But Fernando Mendoza had things at Indiana that turned him into Fernando Mendoza. He wasn't just this guy that showed up and was like, you're the greatest star on planet Earth. They ran the ball. They had a veteran center. They had a veteran offensive line. They had a good coach. The Raiders are trying to emulate all of those things. So when he gets there, it's a little bit of comfort food for him. It's not a wide-eyed rookie like, oh, my God, I don't have any of these things
You give
anymore.
him a chance to have some success. Right. I think that's the big thing. And now, can they run the ball, take a little pressure off that way, protect him? Got Brock Bowers. Now we see if they can start to get some other pass catchers in that building to help them out there. But, yeah, big-time move. I can't even believe that one.
So the Cardinals, they stay busy at running back. I think they reworked James Conner's deal yesterday.
They did. That's right.
They're not done, though. They bring in Tyler Algier to a 2-year deal.
Wow.
So I'm kind of fascinated by the aspect of they're kind of telling you, Trey Benson, like, nothing is guaranteed
I
to you.
guess not.
Because James Conner is the veteran there. They get Tyler Algier, who that's a real role.
That's some powerful runners. I know that.
Good luck tackling these guys. And then he's got to earn it after that. So I think that, one, they're not taking Jeremiah Love at 3, which I think there was at least some buzz because Love just had such a standout combine.
Right.
But then more importantly now, like, this is their smash mouth backfield with LaFleur.
It seems like they're going to play that style of football. Big body backs, come downhill, push the pile, play physical. Benson obviously did not, earn the right to kind of be the guy or even be in the mix and definitely be one of the top 2 guys.
It's availability.
Yeah.
It's always the availability.
I'd be interested, too, and just looking at their roster, I didn't pull them up. They don't have, like, a change of pace back or anything there, do they?
And, I mean, DeMarcado isn't really that kind of guy.
They got Michael Carter, but he's a free agent. Yeah, so that would be the other thing I would just look at. Do they get a guy that's a little bit more third down back-ish, come in and be that smaller type running back? But regardless, big physical backs there in Arizona.
The Jets, their defense will be called by Aaron Glenn this year. He is making sure they don't have a repeat of last year. They made 4 moves in about 3 hours.
Yeah, so wait, tell me them all. I know 3 of them.
So they trade for Minka this morning and extend him. They signed Demario Davis. This is his 3rd stint with the Jets. Demario Davis at 37 is one of the ageless wonders of the league.
Legend, my buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you watch him with the Saints, he's still the same guy he was at 28. It's amazing. 3rd stint with the Jets. They bring in Joseph Asai to a 3-year deal to play on the edge for them. They also bring in Kingsley Enagbare on a 1-year deal.
You know why I like that.
They need to get bigger and tougher on the ends.
They needed more Detroit-style players. They had more of that Robert Saleh scheme, smaller guys, not enough just what they want is they want guys like we kind of were just laughing about with the New England Patriots. They want guys like Detroit was when Aaron Glenn was there, or if you walked on the field. You go on the field and you go, holy crap, Detroit's huge. They're one of the biggest teams in football, and they haven't had that. So to me, he does 2 things here. Not only does he get players that fit the makeup, and some pretty good value deals here. I think that's the first thing. Because Enagbare, to me, that deal is, oh, wait, I thought I was going to get more money on the market. Nobody's going to offer me close to what I want. So I'll go 1 year, $10 million, and show everybody so I can get what I want next year. That's what that is. And that wouldn't be that crazy to think he gets double that next year or, something close to that. I think he's a really damn good football player. But so you get players that, like you just said, fit the mold of what you want physically. I also think it makes them a little more mature on that side of the ball, too. They need that.
That is spot on.
Right? They need some guys there that, the noise is out there. It's the media. It's the Jets. Aaron Glenn didn't say the right thing in the podium today. So what?
Right.
Demario Davis can hold it down. Minka Fitzpatrick, what are we doing? Be pros. Don't worry about all this crap. Let's just do that. That's what they got here in those guys. I think that's what I like. And, like you said, Demario Davis, first off, Simms family, Hall of Famer for us.
Is that right?
Well, he used to work out with us in Jersey at Parisi's at a place we go to. We saw the person he was, the work ethic. It's not surprising that he's here at this point, still at 37, with all the things you just wax poetically about, because we saw the passion on a daily basis. So I'm always happy for him. It's amazing. Full circle, back with the New York Jets.
That's crazy.
I'll see you at the Parisi's tomorrow.
I'm sure he'll be there.
He
guy is all business.
He will be there.
Yeah, something that we've talked about with the Jets is it feels like they lacked a maturity on defense last year. They brought in Harrison Phillips, who is a pro's pro, and it felt like it was kind of eye-opening watching how he would operate. Jawan Briggs would operate.
Yes.
They brought in Brandon Stevens, but the guys that were leftovers, it just didn't work for a variety. It fell apart.
Well,
there's no structure.
That's what the prior regime let the young guys feel like they ran the team right when they got there. And like I always used to joke with the Jets, and you probably heard me say this. We got guys making State of the Union addresses where I've been like, you just had your first lunch with the football team, and you're telling us how the team should be run in the locker room now? Like there just was too much of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this quiets us down. This gets, I think, more of the Aaron Glenn type of player in the building. And then we always talk about culture, right?
Right.
These are the kind of things that help with culture.
Some in-house business for the Commanders. They give Laramie Tunsil a 2-year extension, $60 million.
Yeah.
$32.5 million signing bonus.
Not
you
shocked.
make the trade for him. He's
Yes.
still got it.
He's still got it.
You're not worried about that.
Right. You know he's going to be your left tackle for some time here, so why not just get it done, get out in front of it? That market's going up. I understand him getting $30 million.
Right.
It's different than the Trent Williams, where the 49ers are looking at Trent Williams going, wait, you're getting 32, and you're not in the prime of your career anymore. You're 37, and this doesn't match up that we have a sticker price for you for the highest paid player at your position. You're damn good and a legend, but as we know, at that age, injuries, everything there, that's a risky investment. And that's why I think you're also hearing that Trent Williams is on the trade block right now, because the 49ers are going, damn, we like you. We want you here. But that number right there, we're trying to rebuild our team here too.
Right.
And that's not helping out. And so that's where that one's a little different. But this Laramie Tunsil one, I can understand this all the way.
The Commanders also went out and got Amik Robertson to a 2-year deal.
We love him.
Yeah, $16 million, only $9.3 million guaranteed. This is probably one of the better bargain rack signings of the free agency.
100. Him, and I love Amik Robertson.
Always undervalued.
Feisty as hell, can play the slot, can play outside, can do it all, totally undervalued. It's amazing how some of these guys, I feel like, just never quite get the worth which I think they should get out in the, and it's a little bit all, in this pre-organized package of you were drafted here and you've been on a few teams, so there's no way you can get this amount of money no matter what you do. And sometimes I just feel like that's unfair. It's got to change a little bit in the NFL.
How about another value? I'm kind of shocked by the raw number of this one. The Lions, they go get Cade Mays from the Panthers to be their center. 3 years, $14 million guaranteed.
Wow.
25 total.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he hasn't had to play a ton, but Cade Mays is
a player.
And also the size they like.
Yes.
Like there's not a lot of centers as burly as
he's
this
old
guy.
school.
Yeah.
This is before the Shanahan era zone scheme. This is more Creed Humphrey.
Yeah.
Creed Humphrey's like that, where it's stout. You go, wait, I don't care how big the D tackle is right there next to him. He's going to be fine. He'll be able to hold his ground and do that. And yeah, that's what they like. They like, that. Who's the hell's the damn guard? Tet Rutledge. Right?
Oh, Tate Ratledge.
Yeah. He fits that. They were big maulers. That's Dan Campbell was in New Orleans with Sean Payton when he had the Jari Evans and all these big damn guards and linemen, right? So that's what he's trying to replicate too. That's what he believes in.
All right, we're going to take one last break. When we're back, we continue to break down all the breaking news and some moves that happened throughout the week that we didn't get to cover, like Max Crosby to the Ravens.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Right after this. All right, we're back. We got a lot of different trades to break down, some that happened before free agency even kicked off, but one that happened today, Chris. We lightly mentioned Rashawn Gary. It was weird. It felt like he announced he was released, then he said he was hacked, and then he ends up getting traded. Good for the Packers. They got a 2027 fourth-rounder back from him at least. But the Cowboys, Jerry gets a lot of hate, and I understand like the memes and the jokes of it.
Yeah.
But the way they've kind of retooled their front seven is far from bad.
Admirable. It's
yeah,
admirable.
yeah. Like Quinnen Williams. Now you get Rashawn Gary.
Yes.
They have a couple draft picks this year. They're going about it in a steady way.
Totally.
It feels like.
Had obviously a line of demarcation which they were willing to give up for Max Crosby, where they were just like, wait, this is too much. We can't do it. So they got to find some different makers on their front seven, and they got some issues there. First off, we talked about it a little last week. All right, Kenneth Murray, he's gone. He's not there. Demarion Overshawn is awesome middle linebacker, athletic as hell, but he's been injured, and I would still say somewhat raw to a degree. We got Donovan Izurike, who's having hip surgery.
Yeah.
You don't know where he's going to be at to start the year. So they need somebody else, like you said, other than Quinnen Williams, who can kind of be a force. Rashawn Gary's a damn good football player. I mean, he really is. He can rush the passer. He's awesome in the run game. So he's got it all as far as that's concerned. And, yeah, they need this. And I would think that they're going to make another move in the front seven somewhere. Kenny Clark last year, it was good, but there was games where he didn't start. Like, he did not start.
Right.
They played Odigizua and Quinnen Williams at D tackle, and then he would come in. Now, I think he starts here again, but yeah, we've been talking about them needing to be better in the middle of their defense for quite some time. I don't think they won that Micah trade, but they got a chance here to really. It's not over. The last word hasn't been said. Let's see what they do with these 2 first-round picks this year and some of the trades and the assets they got from that. But like I kind of talked about with you last week, Kenny Clark's damn good, but not like what he once was. They got Logan Wilson out of that trade. He's not on the football team anymore. Quinnen Williams has been really the only main thing you can show from that right now. And I just, with this Rashawn Gary thing, and I know we hit on this, I just wonder if this takes them out of the Trey Hendrickson conversation altogether.
I think it
right?
would.
Yeah.
I think it would.
Yeah.
That would be the extra mile.
Like the Rashawn Gary, okay, they were going to release him. He didn't get hacked. Like, get out of here. He didn't get hacked.
If you believe that.
He literally, this is what happened. Hey, Rashawn, the Packers are probably going to release you today, blah, blah, blah. That goes out there. A few teams call. His agent, the team call and go, hey, why'd you tweet that? We still might trade you. And he doesn't want to, they don't want to lose that value or whatever else there. So then he goes, yeah, I got hacked, blah, blah, blah. Puts the toothpaste back in the bottle, ends up with the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, breaking news. One of your boys has signed. Travis Etienne goes to the Saints.
Ooh, the Saints.
Yeah.
Wow.
They really needed a running back at this stage, especially for Tyler Shuck and how great that offense can be. I think reality set in for the Saints. I don't think Jeremiah Love was making it there anymore or was far from a lock. They go out and get Travis Etienne to this offense. What do you think?
I'm a big fan of Travis Etienne. What kind of numbers? Is there anything out there
We don't
yet?
have the money yet.
They just adjusted, right, Alvin Kamara's deal. So that kind of just tells you it's an end of an era there. Like, Alvin Kamara is no longer going to be the featured guy.
No.
And I think we all kind of knew that. But at the same time, I know he just took a pay cut and to make some things happen. But Etienne, runs a lot more physical and hard between the tackles than maybe what his size would show you. He's a sneaky almost 220 pounds, even though he doesn't look that. And then, of course, what he does in the pass game is damn good, too. He's a natural in the pass game. I mean, not only can he just do it out of the normal running back way, but he can another guy where I'd go, you can put him in the slot and give him a few routes there where he can do it at a high level. This is needed. And you look at the Saints with Shuck, like you said, their O-line and some of the players they got there. We know Olave. Like, they got a few pieces here, but regardless, they got some pieces at that O-line to make you think, ooh, they might be able to just physically impose their will on teams here running the football with Travis Etienne at running back.
Yeah, I mean, Taliza Fuanga and Kelvin Banks as the bookends on each side. Like, that's the goods there to be able to run the ball.
3 first-rounders and a second-rounder. And then they got, Dylan Radunz, excuse me, from who's a free agent. So we don't know who's going to pass or play left guard. But, man, the rest of their offensive line is phenomenal.
More skill talent signing. Wan'Dale Robinson does go to the Titans. He is reunited with Brian Daboll.
Yeah.
4 years.
Finally got one right.
There you go. $78 million.
Guesstimations worked.
Guesstimations.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I think you might have had a few. It's been a weird day. There's been some swerving at the last second.
I would have thought Kenneth Walker might have ended up somewhere else. I didn't think that was going to be the Chiefs. I talked about Devin Lloyd. But, yeah, this one.
Devin Lloyd.
Is still out there.
Him and Quay Walker both.
Are still, so that to me also speaks to that could happen here in the next 24 hours. But probably asking for astronomical numbers.
Yeah, when Demario Davis and Alex Anzalone signed, but we're still waiting on Devin Lloyd, Quay Walker, Leo Chanel, guys like that.
Yes.
It makes you think that those teams checked in and they're like, nah, we'll just go get what we know. By the way, Wan'Dale Robinson, $38 million guaranteed.
Awesome for Wan'Dale.
Capitalized off of a breakout season. Brian Daboll drafted him.
Exactly.
So he knows exactly how to use him.
It's just like we talked about. It's another ally in the locker room that okay, he knows the offensive coach. He knows the system. He can help the receivers out. Hey, this is the rules of this play. This is the rules of that play. This is what you got to learn here. And he's freaking really damn good in the slot. And you look at that with Cam Ward and then go, okay, there's a Calvin Ridley on the outside, and Alec, Ayamanur, DK, where the other guy, or guys that are on the outside, where you go, okay, Wan'Dale's going to have all this room inside to be that guy, and get 80, 90 catches playing in that offense. So I thought that was a great signing by them, and one that I really did kind of expect to happen.
I got one more for you here that I think you're going to like this a lot.
Yeah.
The Chiefs signed Kairos Tonga.
Wow.
The Patriots defensive tackle goes to Kansas City, gets $14 million guaranteed on a 3-year deal. One of those sleeper free agents that had a great year in Kansas City, in New England, over to the Chiefs now.
One of your under-the-radar guys he talked about.
Rushes the passer well for a big man.
Exactly. Well, it's just glad, and we kind of just were talking about this with the Chiefs. There's not enough difference makers up there right now. Still a good D-line, but not a special D-line. Not like it was there when they were going to the Super Bowl and being disruptive, and their front seven had all this versatility and different football players here. Yeah, this is big for them. I like that move a lot. And, I would think the Chiefs, they're not done yet.
ETN got 4 years, $52 million.
4 years, 52. It's the 13 a year.
That's not crazy at all.
That's not crazy at all. So that's what we're seeing. And Kenneth Walker's was basically 15 a year. But he got a lot of it up front.
He got about 28 at signing, I believe.
Yeah, 28 or 30, if I'm remembering right. 28.7. So he's getting a lot in his first 2 years. He's almost getting to that 15 mark. He's getting 14 and change with a third year of, okay, you're going to get 16 or 17 if that does happen.
The running back market's pretty consistent right now. I heard in light of that Kenneth Walker deal, I've heard the Jets want to do something similar with Brees. Mm-hmm. Basically what it is, you pay out 2 years of the franchise tag.
Yeah.
So the running back gets 2 years of guaranteed money instead of one, but the team also doesn't have to be committed beyond 2 years. It's like the perfect.
You can add a third year, lower the numbers a little.
The first team I ever remember doing this, and they were ahead of the curve, the Packers did this with Aaron Jones. They paid out 2 franchise tags as his extension. Yeah. It's just it's a nice middle ground. The running back gets a payday, but the team it's hard to be on the hook with running back money beyond 2 years.
No,
there's too much damage.
Unless it's a rookie where you go, okay, now we got him for 4, maybe 5. That's it. That's where I still go, hey, that's why I wouldn't be against drafting Jeremiah Love at number 5 if I was the New York Giants. And maybe they still will now, the fact that they haven't addressed their running back needs. But we are seeing, I think, teams that are starting to realize, like, having a difference maker at the running back position is essential. And like we've kind of discussed the last few weeks, if you want to change around your offense and your team in a hurry, a running back can do that for you just about as quick as anybody out there.
All right, so obviously some of the earlier news today was that the Dolphins are going to release Tua Tagovailoa as a post-June 1 cut. They're going to have $99 million in dead money spread out a little bit. They're not going to take all of that this year because of the post-June 1 designation. The follow-up report is the Falcons are going to pursue Tua.
Yeah.
So Penix coming off, I think, his 3rd ACL tear. Mm-hmm. This is kind of, it's logical, right? Like, I get it. It's easy to not want anything. A lot of fan base like, I don't want to. The Falcons, though, they need what if Penix isn't ready?
Agreed.
They need someone.
And I don't think they're sold on Penix as definitely the guy for the future.
They don't have to be.
They're not. So they're looking at that. Yeah, they need an insurance policy in case he's not ready to go, like you're talking about. Also, just a veteran there to kind of pressure him a little bit or keep him on his P's and Q's. I'm always in favor of that. The competition aspect's only going to make the starter better. It's either going to make him rise up or he's going to fold and not, be able to handle the heat in the kitchen a little bit there. But, yeah, Tua out of Miami, and we know, not shocked by that at all. We talked about that contract, how that was. You go to Atlanta, and you get to be maybe in a place, too, where, again, you're in the dome. So that fits because I don't think any team in the Northeast or playing outside is going to sign Tua. He's like kind of off the books. It's like, no, he can't happen. Yeah. So this makes sense from that standpoint. We'll see. But I am interested to see how this plays out with Michael Penix there in Atlanta.
How many quarterback rooms in NFL history are all lefty?
I know. 2 lefties. I mean,
you want to get in camp tryout? 3 lefties?
Give me a third one. Yeah. I mean, it really is amazing. When I first heard it, I was like, damn, they're going to have 2 lefties on the roster. That's incredible. So Tommy Reese, we'll see what he does there. But regardless, that makes sense with Tua, Falcons. They can pay him limited money. I mean, he's only going to make $1 million. That's what's amazing. Guys like him, Kyler Murray, I mean, they're going to cost nothing for a football team when they do sign.
All right, let's scale back to the big trade of the week. Max Crosby to the Ravens. They give up 2 first-round picks, one this year and one for 2027. Crosby, the numbers speak for themselves over the years. He's not only one of the best pass rushers in football, but one of the best defenders all around. Do you think they gave up too much?
No.
People were reacting like
more.
He's that good.
Yes.
This is kind of the price for star defensive players.
Totally.
Micah Parsons, Sauce Gardner, like the most recent star defensive player trades. This is the cost. And for the Ravens right now, this is what this team's been missing.
They haven't had a guy like this since Terrell Suggs.
That's the first thing I thought of, right.
The Ravens have always been, I always joke and go, the pillagers of the biggest, baddest mofos on the planet. And they always got another team that's huge when they walk on the football field. Their offense is pretty set. There's nothing glaring that they need on the offensive side of the ball. What we've talked about with the Ravens in the last years, blown leads, periods of time where you go, man, the defense looks average. They got to fix it. There's that. Is there anybody that can really pressure the quarterback there in big moments? They haven't been able to do that. So they've had we have to blitz. And then their secondary has not been that great in years past, but that's changing too with Malachi Starks and Hamilton and Wiggins. So they got something there. But not only does he fit everything that they're about, Jesse Minter's coming from the Chargers. He's seen him twice a year. He knows what he's all about. He's heard his own coaches go, holy crap, Max Crosby's a handful to deal with. He again sets your culture and toughness, sets it up the right way on the defensive side of the ball. You're a Baltimore Ravens team that Justin Madubuike might not ever be back.
Yeah, we don't know what that's going to look like.
We don't know. It still sounds like it's very dicey. So they got to do something there. And that's where Max Crosby comes in a big way and, makes you think differently of their defense altogether and gives them a leader and somebody that's, I think going to somewhat hold everybody accountable there in Baltimore. I said this to Florio this morning. I know he's heard this. I've heard this from people in Baltimore, all facets too. People in the front office, coaches, players. They did not always feel like some of the star players there were held to the same accountability as maybe the middle tier or bottom of the roster type of guys. And as we know, like we heard Mike Vrabel a few weeks ago, what are non-negotiables? You got to be able to yell at your best player like he's your worst player.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to be the same. You got to treat them all the same. And I think that's where a guy like Max Crosby is going to be able to bring that to the building and help Jesse Minter kind of usher this new era of Baltimore Ravens football in the door here.
Feels like it can have a double effect. You get Max Crosby. Maybe this helps Mike Green as the number 2.
I don't doubt that at all.
Right, like better matchups. He can learn from somebody.
Learn to train. Learn all the hands and how to
not
do
be an
all
athlete.
the jiu-jitsu fighting and all of that. One of the things we complained about last year with the Bengals and Shamar Stewart is Trey Hendrickson wasn't there all damn training camp to kind of help him. Hey, this is how you play D-end in the NFL. I think there's great value in that, especially at those positions. And then also on top of that, I think Max Crosby, you talk about Mike Green, I think it's like he's the perfect guy that could put some pressure on Lamar and be like, no, we're at OTAs. It's time to work. We're the 2 highest paid guys on the team. Not that he's going to say stuff like that, but I think with his excitement excitement, and maybe he calls Lamar.
You want
Let's
to be
go.
there.
You're gonna want to be there. You're gonna be like, damn, I don't want to let down our new best player in our team down right off the bat. Right. So I think that's where there can be some real value to Max Crosby.
Some breaking news. Another one of your guys, Simms, as the Saints stay busy on offense, they signed David Edwards.
We were just talking about their guard position going, they got Raduns there.
Yeah. Well, Raduns no more. No, I mean, we know how good they're.
Wow, we're jamming in here right now. I don't know what just happened. The speakers went on in Studio 6.
And it's getting louder and louder in here.
I'm not sure what this is, but we'll go with it for now. DJ Gary, thank you. It's off now. But damn, I have no idea what that was.
No, I was actually slightly nervous.
Like cheesy 80s music. I at first was like, can you lower your computer?
And then
those are some speakers.
No, when the bass kicked in, I was like, this isn't either of us.
The Saints are going to have one of the best offensive lines in football.
Absolutely.
I mean, they
you
are.
Got 2 young tackles that can run block.
He's got Kellen Moore's got a little bit of a Philadelphia Eagles offensive line working here right now.
And Raduns was a free agent.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, he fills that spot.
Plug and play.
Doom. I mean, they got some starting 5 right there.
You're gonna get sick of me saying it all summer. Yeah. I'm gonna pick the Saints to win this division.
Okay.
Because they'll be the value.
That's what you're jumping on.
They're not gonna be the favorite.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be the second favorite.
Probably not.
I think I'm going to pick them to win the division.
Okay. It's not a crazy one. You're right about that. They're not far off.
I just like the way they're operating.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
So, defense,
a
couple questions. I have some questions.
There. Yeah, they got some work to do there.
But they'll be able to score points.
Definitely. I mean, we got that. David Edwards there. And then, of course, the other trade that I don't think we've got to talk about this either yet.
The DJ Moore trade. We have not talked about this. My question to you over text last night was, is this enough for the Bills? Like the expectations after the year they had, and a lot of turmoil at the end of it, moving on from the head coach. There was some weird energy from Sean McDermott when he was talking about Jacoby Myers before playing Jacksonville.
Totally.
It almost felt like
that might have been,
It felt like I wish we had Jacoby Myers.
Yes.
We knew Brandon Beane had to do something at wide receiver. That something is they trade a second-round pick for DJ Moore.
Yeah.
There's no denying it helps, but is it enough?
I think it's a fair question. I know. The combination of the tight ends, Josh Allen, James Cook, and a DJ Moore, I think with what they have, I do think it's enough. I do. And I would not be shocked if they got somebody else in the draft as well.
Right.
But I think with that, the guys we just mentioned, and then them still being hopeful that Keon Coleman can turn into something, if that does happen, then you go, okay, they definitely have enough. They're good. But regardless, we've talked about the Bills really since the start of the Stephon Diggs era there, and when he was in his prime. Not his last year or two, because he wasn't that guy in Buffalo anymore. But they have not had a guy that we've talked about that can take pressure off the offense, take pressure off of Josh Allen. It's like either Josh has got to do it with some amazing play, or hopefully James Cook can find a seam and do it that way. But they have not had a receiver. And I kind of said on one of my Instagram videos that I made just for the trade on Friday, is just that, here's a guy that can run by you, as we saw late in the year with Caleb Williams throwing him deep touchdown passes, and he can catch slants and do stuff like that and make big plays out of it. So that's where I do love it. I do. They needed this. They needed to take pressure off of Allen and James Cook that way. I thought it was a necessity. We'll see what else they do. They got a lot of, free agents on the defensive side of the ball. They got some holes to fill.
Yeah, David Edwards was one. He just got paid. And we have more wide receiver news trickling in. You said right before, after the Linderbaum signing, the Raiders need to add pass catchers. They do that. They signed Jalen Nailor to a 3-year deal.
Good for him.
Up to $35 million. So we talked about with him, he's going to go somewhere and get a bigger role. He's been that number 3 his whole career.
Now he's going to be a number 2.
He's probably the number 2.
Yeah. Number 2, high-end number 3, depending on what they do or what they get here in the draft and free agency. But to me, it's like, whoa, we need somebody that we know is just dependable, going to work and be able to play for us right now. Jalen Nailor can do that. And he's got great versatility. Yeah, he's more of your slot guy, but he can play outside too and do all that. And he's been coached well by Kevin O'Connell and everybody in Minnesota. So good to see for Jalen Nailor. And I think, he'll be a perfect fit for Clint Kubiak and Fernando Mendoza.
All right, that's wave 1.
Boom, wave 1.
Flew.
It flew. And we're back Wednesday.
morning.
Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. live. All right, so you're not going to have our normal Tuesday pod that we have been putting out. We're going to let free agency breathe a little bit, see where it goes, and then give you all the reactions to the second wave. Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. live, NBC Sports YouTube page. You know where to find us. He'll wear another retro windbreaker for you or some other jacket as usual.
I'll bring my best.
All right, way to go, man. Thanks
show.
a lot. Thanks for staying on top of it.
Shout to the homies. It felt like more than ever today.
Appreciate
really cool
you guys checking it out, coming in, getting involved a little bit. We probably didn't take enough of your comments and everything there, but we'll try to do that on Wednesday. And Wednesday, come on, ask us the questions, whatever you think, whatever is pertinent to free agency, we'll be here to break it down. All right, everybody, peace out. Have a good day. We'll see you Wednesday.